Welcome, I'm sdkelley. I'll let you in on a little secret about my crafting room. I use one corner for all my crafting displays, and it's right at the end of my crafting room. And as you can see, it's surrounded by all my materials and supplies and things. But this is my corner that I chose because I live in a small place, and I use it to display all my crafting items. And in this video, I'm going to show some really quick last-minute DIY Thanksgiving decor pieces. I realize I'm behind, but in the crafting world, you're supposed to have up your Christmas tree like 2 months ago. But for real, in the real world, does anyone really want to put up a Christmas tree in August? I don't. So I'm just going to show some really quick DIYs for Thanksgiving, and then I'll be transitioning shortly into Christmas in my next video. This chrome piece here is actually a 3-tiered manicure tray, and it holds nail polishes, but I actually have it for holding 4 mason jars in each row, and a standard size one will do that. And I have the 4 mason jars where I keep all my different hardwares and things like that, and it hangs on the side of this chrome shelf. I purchased this shutter at Target for $5, and I also have S-hooks hanging a welcome sign on it. And I use this crate to store upcoming project pieces that are fairly large. In the bottom of my crafting corner, I have these 2 metal chests that I purchased from Family Dollar about 5 years ago, and I hope to make them over soon. This metal zebra print really isn't my style, but it works great for storing my fairy lights, night lights, and LED candles. At a thrift store, I was lucky to pick up these grapevine wreaths. They're fairly large. I'm guessing about 16 inches in diameter, something like that. And they're fairly thick. And what I like about them are these branches that I can clip things to them and remove easily. Now, before I bought these, I made sure that these pieces are easily removable. Once I removed all the pieces that could be repurposed and reused or donated, I then have these 2 wreaths that I can work with and change throughout the year. I used a pair of these cutting pliers just to pry some of those glue pieces off. Fortunately, there wasn't that many. Some things at the Dollar Tree are really cute and easy to incorporate in any DIY project. However, I like to upgrade some of them. I'm not really into a lot of glitter, especially around Thanksgiving. You can spray paint this piece and make it look a lot more rustic, and it would look really cool. Or if you like the glam style, just stick with it. But I'm going to wrap some 1/8 of an inch twine around it, and you can get this twine in a package of 3 with one of the colors being green. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen it before. And I like to wrap it around this piece here, and it's a little bit tricky around the stem, but I'm going to keep going, and I'll be showing in this video just real quickly how I get around this top piece and then make it join on to the rest of this pumpkin outline. Now, before I started wrapping this, I had replaced the ribbon and the string that was holding that inner pumpkin in place with some twine that was a few inches long so that I can have something to work around, and I'm making sure that those stay in place. I'll be filling in this triangular shaped gap at the top with just some cut pieces to fill it in. And also I'm going to be putting a flower bow over it later in the video, so it won't really show if it looks not too great anyway, but it'll help give it more full coverage. If you enjoy watching arts and craft videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified anytime I upload something new. Feel free to follow me and tag me with related content on Instagram. My profile name there is Saggycat, after a sweet cat named Sagittarius. I didn't mind that a little bit of glitter and sparkle showed through. However, if that's something you don't like, you can always spray paint this or chalk paint it beforehand. If you choose to just singe off the extra fuzzy pieces, please be in a well-ventilated area, not around flammable stuff, and be an adult, and be careful. However, if you're not comfortable using a lighter, or if you're a young child, then use some scissors to trim off the excess pieces. Or you can just leave it fuzzy if that's a look you like. And now for the finishing touch of a twine flower, which is what I like to make using a technique similar to that I've seen another YouTuber use, and her name is called Kelly Barlow, and her channel is Kelly Barlow Creations. I think that's the name of it. Anyway, I'll provide a link in the description below to that if you want to see her tutorial on how to make these twine flowers. I might be doing mine a little bit differently. I'm not sure. All I'm doing is wrapping around these pieces around my fingers a few times, and then I make some smaller ones just using 2 fingers, and I'm just tying them on piece by piece in each little group here to make a fluffy flower. Even though the inspiration for this twine flower came from Kelly Barlow's Creations channel, I like to do my own way here of just tying the pieces on instead of gluing them on. But either way, it's going to look really cute, and it's just a matter of personal preference. So now the fun begins of just tying all these pieces on. I'll be taking the same twine and double layering it and creating a hoop at the top so I have a way to hang this wreath up. I have some wired berries that go around these pillar candles, and I don't use them to decorate around the candles, but I thought they would look so great if I just bent and shaped them to go around this wreath, and I used 2 of them. And now I'm just sticking some Dollar Tree sunflowers in through the vines. And I'm also tying on the scarecrow. And if you want, you could always just dress up these scarecrows a little bit, which I show a little bit later in the video, just real briefly. And then I have some pine cones, of course, from the Dollar Tree. I hot glued a piece of a craft stick and wrapped some twine around a candle holder so that I could put a tea light at the bottom of this wreath. For this next DIY, I'll be taking 12 decorative balls. They come in a package of 6 each, so it's 2 packages. And this one package of pine cones from the Dollar Tree, which comes in a group of 12. And the twine on the ends just snap right off. And I'm taking some fairy lights and I'm threading them through, then back around just the other end and pulling it through so that it stays in place, and the light should be in the center of each ball. At the end, I also put the light in, the end light that is, and then I just tuck it back in and pull it, and it should stay in place. For inserting the pine cones, I just pull the 2 wires apart and then stick the pine cone through, and then just gently twist 1 or 2 times and it will stay in place as well. And now you have a beautiful lighted garland. I picked up this small basket from a thrift store for 99 cents, and I'll be using it to hide the battery pack. This decorative garden, which will transition easily into winter from fall, with these beautiful pine cones and decorative balls, cost me a total of $4 using all products from Dollar Tree. I'm going to make it so that the scarecrow from the Dollar Tree sits on top of a pumpkin with arms and legs that bend. It's quite an easy upgrade, actually. I'm trimming down the stick in the back to the size that I need, and I'm cutting open the sleeves and the pant legs to pull the straw pieces out, and I'll be using some floral wire and pieces of a felt cleaning rag from the Dollar Tree. I'm measuring out the limb size that I need for the scarecrow by holding the wire about an inch going into that styrofoam block that creates the body of the scarecrow. I'm wrapping pieces of this felt rag around these wires using the hot glue, and if you do a project like this or similar, just keep in mind that the heat will transfer quickly through the wire and it will get hot to touch. And before rolling it, I just go ahead and glue the straw hand or foot into place. I just used some ordinary twine just to tie the pant legs and the sleeves to hold the pieces in. And now I can do all kinds of crazy wacky things with the scarecrow since its arms and legs bend. I also took a piece of the felt rag and created a new bow tie. I added some pieces of a hula skirt onto the back. I use hula skirts often for my projects when I need straight raffia. I'll just be painting this Dollar Tree foam pumpkin with some chalk paint. I put the stem and the toothpick that held it in place aside for now. I glued on some burlap trim from the Dollar Tree in the creases. Just keep in mind the fancier trim only comes in a yard of each different type, so you may need to get more than one package depending on what you want to do. And now I just simply insert the stick of the scarecrow so that it's sitting on top of the pumpkin. I'm taking the stem, the toothpick, and some raffia from that hula skirt, and I'm just wrapping some of the burlap trim around the bottom, gluing it, and then I'm sticking it into place. And now I'm just adding some extra leaves that were left over from a previous project. whenever possible, I like to use things that light up my projects, and in this case, my scarecrow with the arms that bend is holding a strand of lights that are a fall theme in the shape of leaves. I'll be reusing this white basket that I used in a recent Halloween project, and I'll be just removing the Halloween elements out of it and then putting in some Thanksgiving themed elements around the common fall themed decor pieces. I'll also be using this green hanging metal planter that I used for Halloween as well, and I'll be removing the purple and black flowers out of it. For each holiday and/or season, I like to keep things grouped together so I remember how they go together the following year if I really liked how something turned out. And one rule that I really try to stick to is that I try not to exceed past 2 50-quart containers. Christmas, I'll give some leeway to a 90-quart container, and I won't go past 2 of those. When my projects start to exceed that, I start to thin them out by donating or selling the pieces. I decided I wanted a piece of fall fern but couldn't find any anywhere nearby, so I just painted some streaks of red and yellow to create that look. I found a white wooden basket at a thrift store, which is a perfect size, and I turned it upside down to set this basket on top of it to give it height. I also have these pieces that I've used in previous decorations, and I'm using some small bales of hay and of course the galvanized metal signs to create a Thanksgiving harvest themed display. I'll be putting this scarecrow in that planter that I had just removed all those Halloween Gothic flowers out of, and I'm just giving it an upgrade with some leftover burlap trim. As with the previous scarecrow, I made the arms so that they bend, and I'm also going to be tying on this galvanized metal thankful sign that comes from Dollar Tree. I left the leaves in from Halloween, but now I'm just adding some yellow Lazy Susan type flowers in place of the purple and black Gothic flowers. And now I'm ready to put in my scarecrow. I created some fake rust on this planter earlier this year in another video around Easter time, and I'll put a link to that video below. I never did attach the legs to this tub, however I'm just going to be putting them inside for now, and I'll just store them in there out of the way for now. Here's a trellis I made that goes with it. I picked up some tall, wispy, feathery pieces from a store called Roses that's near where I live, but I'm sure you can get similar pieces at a craft store like Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I'm taking what's left over from this hula skirt that I used for projects during Halloween and for Thanksgiving of this year, and I'm going to be placing that around the sides of the tub. I like the way that this upside down hula skirt, or what's left of it, creates hay that looks like it needs to be harvested for the fall. Here's a candle sitting on top of a mason jar with some moss around the bottom that I made around Easter time of this year. And I like to use things throughout the year. Try to make things that can go with a variety of themes. It's called my general decor, and I try to keep that all in one place. And it just adds nice finishing touches to anything that I put up throughout the year. Of course, these pieces will be dispersed more evenly throughout my home. However, I just like it here in the corner for display purposes for my videos. This green ladder is actually from a white garden fence where I trimmed the stakes off, made it like a little ladder, and painted it green and wrapped some twine around it. I used command strips to hold these lattices in place that come from the garden section so that I can hang things on this wall that's made of cinder block. As you can see, there's a little bit of the command strip sticking out of this garden lattice right here. But it works perfectly for hanging my displays. If you liked today's video, I hope that you'll give it a big thumbs up, comment on, and share this video with everyone that you know. Also, I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you here. You'll find my social media links in the description below. Again, I'm SD Kelly, and I thank you for watching.